What if you lost everything tomorrow? Your job, your reputation, the project you've poured your soul into. Could you stay calm? Could you endure? In a world addicted to comfort and paralyzed by uncertainty, few are prepared for the harsh turns of fate. But the Stoics, ancient philosophers of grit and clarity, trained daily for adversity. They practiced premeditatio malorum, the art of visualizing misfortune before it strikes, not to suffer early, but to suffer less or not at all. This is the story of Darren, a modern man standing at the crossroads of ambition and collapse. When his greatest opportunity vanishes, he must rely on ancient wisdom to hold his ground. Through his quiet discipline, forged long before disaster arrived, Darren shows us what it means to face the storm, not with panic, but with peace. There's a quiet morning before every storm, a stillness that deceives the unwise and comforts the unprepared. But the Stoic does not mistake the silence for safety. The Stoic, even in peace, trains for war, not out of paranoia, but preparation. This is the essence of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, a mental discipline practiced by the ancient Stoics and still relevant for every modern soul who seeks to live not by chance, but by choice. Imagine you wake up tomorrow and your most important project has failed. Your client has withdrawn. Your partner has walked away. Your reputation smeared. You feel the heat of judgment, the chill of uncertainty, the weight of despair. Now pause. What will you do? If that scenario startled you, it's because you weren't ready for it. And that's exactly what the Stoics aim to change, not to prevent the storm, but to practice standing firm within it. Marcus Aurelius, writing in the chill of dawn before the duties of empire, reminded himself daily that people would be deceitful, selfish, arrogant. Not to criticize them, but to make peace with the reality of human nature. So when he encountered them, he was not surprised, but prepared. So, too, Seneca, exiled unjustly from Rome, wrote letters to his friend Lucilius about imagining poverty, exile, disgrace. He suggested dressing in rough clothes once a month, eating simple food, and asking, "Is this the condition I feared?" Why? Because when you've rehearsed the worst, you disarm it. It loses its sting. Let's take a modern example, a fictional, yet familiar story of a man named Darren. Darren is a talented young architect, known for innovation and precision. He lands the biggest contract of his career, designing a public museum in the heart of a bustling city. Months of effort go into sketches, presentations, and technical details. He pours his soul into it. The project becomes not just work, but identity. But then, due to budget cuts and political shifts, the contract is canceled. His firm is blamed. His name is attached to failure. The press hints at incompetence. A lesser-known competitor receives the new contract. At first, Darren is devastated. Rage turns inward. He questions everything, his abilities, his future, even his worth. But Darren, unlike many, has practiced premeditatio malorum. During the early stages of the project, he had set aside time each week to visualize what could go wrong, the client pulling out criticism from media, or even sabotage, not obsessively but calmly. He imagined how he'd respond. He rehearsed acceptance, then resolve. So now, when the blow lands, he bleeds. But he does not collapse. He remembers his training. This was always possible. What is in my control now? Instead of fighting reality, he faces it. He reaches out to colleagues for support, acknowledges the disappointment without indulging it, and begins to plan his next move. This is not denial, it's discipline. Modern life is full of unexpected blows, rejection letters, layoffs, illness, betrayal. Most people stumble through life hoping none of it happens. The Stoic does the opposite, he trains for it. Just as a soldier rehearses drills before the battle, just as a surgeon visualizes procedures before the operation, the Stoic mentally prepares for the loss, the insult, the failure. Premeditatio malorum is not about pessimism. It is not about living in fear. It is about building inner immunity like a vaccine of the mind. By imagining misfortunes, not morbidly but strategically, you do three things. 1. Reduce the shock. You are less likely to be blindsided. 2. Plan a response. You can visualize your values in action. 3. Revalue what matters. You realize that much of what you fear is survivable. As Epictetus wrote, it's not things that disturb us, but our judgments about them. The mental rehearsal changes your judgment, so you don't see events as catastrophes, but as challenges, opportunities to embody reason, courage, and endurance. Consider another angle. Suppose you fear losing your job. You imagine the email arriving at 4:55 p.m. We regret to inform you, the commute home is quiet, the dinner table heavy, your identity suddenly adrift. Now ask, what will you do? A Stoic would answer, I will remain free within myself. I will grieve if I must, but I will not collapse. I will find work again or create it. I will not let an external event strip me of my virtue, my reason, my dignity. By imagining the loss in advance, you take back control, not over the event, but over your reaction. You turn fear into preparation. This is the secret of Stoic resilience. Not detachment, but discipline. Let's return briefly to the ancient world. Cato the Younger, a senator of the Roman Republic, practiced Premeditatio Malorum in dramatic fashion. Though born into wealth, he would walk barefoot, sleep on the floor, and wear plain robes. His peers saw it as eccentric, but Cato was building strength. He knew comfort weakens the will. He chose hardship, so that when real hardship came, he was ready. His enemies mocked him. His friends worried for him. But when civil war broke out, when power shifted and threats rose, Cato stood firm. Others begged and bargained. Cato remained unbent. He had already faced every fear in his mind and conquered it. This is the ultimate value of Premeditatio Malorum. It trains you not only to survive adversity, but to lead others through it. How to practice it today? 1. Daily reflection. In your morning journal or quiet moments, ask yourself, what could go wrong today? How will I respond with virtue? 2. Weekly deep dive. Choose a feared scenario, losing your job, facing illness, being publicly criticized, and imagine it in detail. Then ask, what remains within my control? 3. Physical reminders. Occasionally embrace small discomforts. Skip a meal. Take a cold shower. Sit in silence. Not to suffer, but to remember, you are stronger than you think. 4. Dialogues with fear. When anxiety arises, don't flee. Sit with it. Speak to it. Ask, what are you trying to protect me from? Is this threat as bad as it seems? 5. Anchor in values. For each imagined setback, decide what Stoic virtue you'll embody. Will you practice patience, courage, justice, self-discipline? Final reflection, love fate even in darkness. There is a deeper layer to Premeditatio Malorum. When practiced long enough, it can lead to a kind of fierce love for life as it is, not only in its joys, but in its trials. This is the spirit of Amor Fati, to love your fate, not to resign yourself to it, but to embrace it as your path, your training, your test. You don't just accept the storm, you welcome it. Why? Because each hardship offers you a choice, shrink or grow, bitter or better, reactive or reflective. By imagining the worst, you prepare to be your best. So, stand each morning not asking, what if everything goes perfectly, but rather, what if it doesn't, and I rise anyway? Let this become your mantra. I have seen the shadows. I have tasted the losses. I have trained for the fall. And I will not be broken by what I've already embraced, because the Stoic knows the world will tremble and twist and turn. But inside, there remains a place untouched by storms, a fortress not made of stone, but of reason, virtue, and will. And that place is where peace begins.
Thank you for watching and reflecting with me on In the Shadow of the Storm, a Stoic meditation on Premeditatio Malorum. If this story resonated with you, if it made you pause, reflect, and perhaps feel a little more prepared for life's inevitable storms, then the purpose of this video has been fulfilled. The ancient Stoics didn't write to impress, they wrote to arm the soul. And that's what I hope this channel becomes for you. a place not just of ideas, but of preparation, where philosophy meets the real world and helps you stand stronger in it. If you found value in this meditation, I'd be deeply grateful if you liked, subscribed, or shared it with someone who might need it today. And most importantly, keep practicing, keep imagining, keep strengthening that inner fortress, because while we can't control the storm, we can choose who we become within it.